If you're reading this book, you are probably between the ages of 35 and 105 and looking to get married for the first time, or maybe the fourth time. You probably have experienced waves of resignation, thinking that you will never find a wonderful mate. You may be divorced or widowed or never married after spending time on your career or with the wrong boyfriend. Maybe you've never wanted to get married until recently. Maybe you've had weight issues or you've been distracted by a sick parent. Maybe you're shy and have trouble meeting men. It makes no difference how you got here. You're single and ready to make a change. What this book is not is an analysis of all that has gone wrong in your life, who's to blame, or why society is the way it is. You'll see zero quotes from famous psychiatrists, sociologists, priests, or rabbis about the plight of the single modern female. 10+ powerful lessons from the book, Find a Husband After 35. Number 1. It costs money to find a husband. I wish it were free, but sadly it's not. There are those direct costs such as dating service memberships, tickets to singles events, hosting a party, and more. And then there are the indirect costs of improving your appearance, such as new clothes, makeup, hairstyling, push-up bras, exercise, and diet plans. Depending on your individual situation, the expense can be significant. Maybe you need to buy a home computer to start online dating. Maybe you need to move to a new apartment to be geographically desirable. Don't panic if you're concerned about these costs. As they say in business, you are investment spending. You are spending more money than the amount immediately coming in, hoping that your investment will pay off in the long run. It's just like you would invest in a job search. You would spend money on printing your resume, creating a portfolio, and buying a new interview suit. The return on your investment is landing a job. In your husband search, the return on your investment is finding a husband. Number 2. Packaging may be the most underappreciated marketing tactic. Surprisingly, packaging can be more important than the product itself. At the point of purchase, it is usually the external wrapping on a product that first attracts attention, not necessarily what's inside the package. Packaging is simply how you look on the outside. Your wrapping paper. I wish I could tell you that your inner self is what really counts, and later in a relationship it is what counts the most. But the truth is that how you look makes all the difference in getting noticed in the beginning. Now the good news. You don't have to be beautiful or have a perfect body to attract men, but you should look your personal best. You first need to capture a man's attention visually, and then let him get to know you. As you'll see later in this chapter, looking and acting feminine can also be a big part of the packaging equation. Remember, you only get one chance to make a first impression. I wish the world wasn't so shallow, but we don't make the rules. We just have to play by them. Number 3. A key marketing goal is to sell your product to as many customer segments as possible. Casting a wider net means looking for a husband who may not be the type you've always imagined. When you are in your 20s, you select a man for potential. But later in life, you select a real person who comes with more history simply because he has a longer past. Most women, when asked what type of man they are looking for, will rattle off a list of 5, 10, or 15 criteria. He has to be at least 6 feet tall, have a great sense of humor, and be smart. So how do you break out of your habit and forget your type? Start by talking the talk. The next time someone asks you what kind of man you're looking for, spread the word and answer simply, someone wonderful. That's it. Just 2 words. Number 4. A personal brand is a must-have for every woman who is single and over 35. Here's why. You need to stand out in the crowded arena of 28 million single women to get noticed. It will help you target your ideal customers. A woman whose brand includes intellectual is likely to attract a smart man, or at least a man who appreciates a smart woman. How do your friends and acquaintances describe you when you're not listening? You want to know this because you rely on them to fix you up on blind dates and portray you in a unique and favorable way. It's important how they summarize you. You can help them communicate your complex set of qualities to other people by suggesting which facets about you to highlight. You will also want to highlight these same areas when meeting someone for the first time, since people will make snap judgments about you during the first few minutes. In this step, you will learn how to select 3 adjectives, phrases, or identifiers that will become your personal brand. This brand will quickly communicate who you are and will distinguish you from other women. Number 5. A product can be the greatest item in the world, but unless it has an effective advertising campaign behind it, it can fail in the marketplace. No one except the marketing department will ever know about the product's incredible attributes unless that message is effectively communicated to consumers. Many women tell me they are uncomfortable promoting themselves and their unique qualities. This is mainly because most of us are raised to be modest and demure about our assets. Braggarts are never well liked, but all you are really doing here is communicating what makes you different, not what makes you great. This is not bragging or acting smug, but rather helping people frame you in their minds. You need to get comfortable with the fact that advertising is okay. Still, reaching this comfort level doesn't happen overnight. The more you tell people about your new label, the more at ease you'll be with it. Your advertising efforts will be very effective, but only if you enact them with confidence. You are about to launch the New You advertising campaign, but it is important to understand that I'm not saying you should lie about yourself or use bait-and-switch tactics. Your advertising campaign is about putting your best foot forward to get the initial attention of as many men as possible. Once you start to meet and date these men, your full picture will emerge. That's what dating is for. Then either you'll hit a home run or you won't, but at least you'll have gone up to bat. Number 6. You know when a brand isn't working well because people seem surprised by it or can't remember it, or if it's attracting the wrong kind of man. You'll know it is working well when the reverse starts to happen. People express enthusiastic recognition when they hear your brand attributes, they remember your brand easily, and the brand is attracting quality men. You'll start to notice that people will think to invite you to particular events or include you in certain conversation topics relevant to your brand. Number 7. If you want to succeed in business, you have to sell your product efficiently. This typically means making your product and your message available quickly and cost-effectively to as many prospects as possible. Businesses have found that the internet is a very efficient sales tool. The online marketplace offers an enormous audience quickly and at low cost. It is too big to ignore. To some of you, I'll be preaching to the choir. You've been dating online for some time and already know the advantages and disadvantages. For others, you might consider the internet a scary or geeky domain. Or maybe you consider those who post personal ads online to be losers or desperate. Or perhaps you have avoided it because your friends reported negative stories to you about their online dating experiences. But I am here to tell you that you are if you don't start online dating. It's the single best thing you can do to maximize your odds of finding a husband, despite the inherent pitfalls. Number 8. Online dating is now socially acceptable, hugely popular, and used by all ages and types of men and women. In April 2004, more than 25 million adults in the United States logged on to an online dating site, and that number is rising fast every month. Approximately half of those online today are over 30 years old. And importantly, approximately 53% of users of online personal ads are looking for a serious relationship. It is a must for any single woman over the age of 35. Number 9. Guerrilla marketing is the use of non-conventional, cost-effective, out-of-the-box tactics to reach your prospective customers. It's a technique primarily designed for small businesses that don't have large marketing budgets but need to compete against giant companies. Guerrilla marketing uses many small tactics to regularly and consistently reach the customer and achieve a big result. Are you doing the same things over and over again by force of habit? Are your routines familiar and comfortable? You may be in a personal rut. When it comes to finding your husband, you have to get out of that rut and do something different. Probably the reason you haven't found him yet is because he isn't in the small orbit of your office, apartment building, local Starbucks, or circle of friends. Many people don't even know they're in a rut because they like what they do, where they do it, and with whom. But getting out of your rut has the power to change your single status. A rut isn't necessarily a bad place. but it is something that makes your life insular and prevents you from achieving your goal of finding a husband. Number 10. Volume is one of the core principles of the program. Remember, the more times at bat, the greater chance you have to hit a home run. This is the step where you are going to pump up the volume even more. Thus far, you have progressed through 10 steps that have created a strong foundation and many new opportunities to help you find a mate. You have started to create volume with online dating, changing your routine, networking with selected women, and telemarketing. But if you haven't met Mr. Right yet, it's time to pick up the pace, not slow down. You need to generate more and more opportunities to find a husband. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you probably will not see us again. If you have, congratulations, you are growing every day.